Welcome to Osceola County Stadium for an Eastern Conference matchup between the Revs 2 and Orlando City B. A couple of teams in the thick of the Eastern Conference playoff race. New England comes in at third while Orlando sits fifth. It's the first matchup between the two teams this season, but New England 2-0-1 against Orlando City a year ago. Everybody's chasing crown right now, but there are the Revs. Same in points, but one more game played than the Crew. Meanwhile, Orlando 10-8-3 after last year. The team struggled mightily, 9th out of 10 teams in the East, but a much better squad this year. Their 40 goals for is tied for third in the East. Tied, in fact, with tonight's opponent, the Revs 2. Our goalkeepers tonight, Jacob Jackson for New England and Mason Stidahar for Orlando City. Stidahar is the first team backup coming down for some reps. So Mason Stidahar between the sticks, 6'2", 215-pound keeper. The name to know, though, as we look at the starting lineup for Orlando, is Jack Lynn. 12 goals. That is tied for first in the league with Atlanta's Nick Firmino. He was third in goals a year ago. Also, Abdi Salim, the 17th overall pick out of Syracuse, a national champion at the collegiate level last year. It's a pretty balanced attack for Orlando City behind the standout Jack Lynn. For New England, a couple of first-teamers in the lineup again, Joshua Bolma and Jack Panayotou featuring for Revs 2 again. Meanwhile, Pierre Caille, if you include USL 1 action, it is his 60th start on the back line for the Revs. MLS Next Pro on Apple TV. It is Orlando and New England in an Eastern Conference matchup between a couple of teams in the thick of the playoff hunt. New England, third in the East with 40 points. Orlando City B comes in fifth with 34 points. First matchup between these teams this year comes to you from Osceola County Stadium, where Orlando is 7-1-2. The lone home loss to Philadelphia June 28th, 3-0. Stidahar with the touch for Orlando, coming down for some minutes with the first team on break right now. Stidahar being the first team backup. A lot of contact and the foul called in the middle. Orlando, 9th of 10 teams in the East last year. Their 53 goals allowed was 9th in the East as well. Much improved club. A couple of teams that were both outside the playoff race last season and both in the playoff race this season. As Mohammed charges along, good ball, top of the box. And that's broken up, but Orlando, the aggressor early on its home pitch. Heavy numbers in the box. Taken away, however. Impressive start, though, for Orlando City B. Again, coming to you from MLSNextPro.com, but also MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, your home for all things MLS and MLS Next Pro. Alyssa Nichols, the referee tonight. Also there at the top of your screen is the fourth official, Rashawn Clark. Here's Kaye in his 60th career start, back for Jackson. Jackson with a misplay in the 95th minute on Sunday as New England led the Red Bulls 1-0, and he punched it out right to the top of the box, and New York's Ovante Mullings cashed it on really the last action of stoppage time. That sent it to PKs, and New England fell in PKs despite a 2-0 lead in PKs. But the coaching staff said they loved the performance, thought they put their best foot forward, just didn't get the result they desired. Mohammed with some space. Lofted into the box. Headed around. Jackson aggressive with the punch out. That's his style. And the goal kick upcoming. Felipe Martins and Rodrigo Schlegel both in the lineup tonight for Orlando City B. Those are a couple of very experienced MLS players. But again, with that first team break, a couple of guys just coming down to stay loose. In the case of Martins, though, you don't see this a lot in Next Pro. He has played in 12 MLS seasons. 26 goals, 57 assists. That is the most MLS experience that I've come across this year in a Next Pro contest. Felipe Martins, 32 years old. Abdi Salim, 28 in the purple, from Buffalo, New York, national champion for Syracuse University. He's played 2 MLS games in March. There he is on the left side of your screen, next to his keeper, but it goes the other way. Alex Freeman, a lot of contact there. And it's New England possession. It is the MLS Next Pro debut for interim head coach Marcelo Santos, as Clint P.A. has joined the first team as an interim assistant. Loose in the box, it's deflected over. Jackson with an incredible save off the turnover. Sudden change there off a misplay. Nobody tracked it down for New England. And a fortunate kick save, pretty much the one place that Jackson could have stopped it on that shot off the foot of Martins, who lines up for the corner kick. Martins curls it to the far post, headed up and out, and a goal kick. But Santos, his MLS Next Pro head coaching debut with Clint P.A., the first team assistant right now. It's Santos' 4th year as a Revs 2 assistant. Previously 1 year as the U19 coach and 1 year as the U17 coach, but he worked hand in hand with Clint P.A. with this Revs 2 squad, so he said he's just looking to take advantage of the opportunity. Doesn't know how long it will last, but grateful to be doing it, and really not much is going to change at all as he's been in lockstep with Clint P.A. since his arrival. Santos's previous most prominent coaching experience was 10 years on the Marquette staff as an assistant. Part of 2 NCAA tournament teams and a couple of Big East title teams. Martins centers it. Mohamed passes back. Into the box again. Meanwhile, Martin Perelman, the second-year head man for Orlando B. Imanol Almaguer, 53 on the right side of your screen. An assist in 2 of the last 3 games for Orlando. Jackson's pretty active early. He bombs that one well off the pitch. Freeman settles it. Just on the edge. We'll see who that's deemed off of. It's a corner kick. Still no Weverton in the lineup for New England. Their backup, occasional starting striker. Now his 6th straight absence with a hamstring injury. Martins again. Settled at the top, juggled around. New England tracks that down. Tablante tried to win it back and forced the corner. Martins has played MLS for Orlando, DC, Austin, Vancouver, Montreal, and the Red Bulls. Again, this is relatively unheard of MLS experience to be appearing in Next Pro. Much more of a flat corner this time, directed loose. And now it's a goal kick. But Orlando coming out hot on its home pitch. Ton of bodies in front. That may have been off the right foot of Rodrigo Schlegel. Might have bounced off the bottom of his boot. Schlegel also being awfully experienced at the MLS level with 77 games played and 57 starts. Freeman with it. Attempted slide, tackle forces another corner. By the way, 65 in the purple, Cristian Medina there walking to the top of the box. He's back in the lineup. Missed the last match due to yellow card accumulation. Almaguer lifts it, top of the box, headed in! Goal! Jack Lynn does it again! Or no, pardon me, that's Rodrigo Schlegel, excuse me. Rodrigo Schlegel on the header. Rodrigo Schlegel comes in, instant impact. Beautiful ball from Almaguer. Off the head of Schlegel, just past the right hand of Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, your OCB goal scored by number 15, Rodrigo Schlegel in the 13th minute. Assist on goal by number 53,
Schlegel.
Almaguer.
Again, somewhat of an unexpected appearance tonight, but with the MLS first team break, comes down for some minutes, and head coach Martin Perelman happy about that right now. But Orlando, the clear aggressor these first 14 minutes, and that pays off there. The ball's been entirely on New England's half of the pitch. Maybe a little bit of a hangover effect for New England after it really wanted that Red Bulls match, because even though New England still sits pretty in the standings, the Red Bulls were the only team that New England had played to that point in the season and not earned at least 2 points against. They had lost to the Red Bulls twice in regulation, got it to PKs the third time around, but still lost in PKs. So the Red Bulls remain the only team that New England has played and not earned at least 2 points against. So it was a tough pill to swallow, leading that one 1-0 until the last action of the game, when had the keeper clutched onto the ball, it probably would have ended it as soon as he just got rid of it.
Number 19, Olga Escobar in the 15th minute.
That foul's on Escobar. And Escobar picks up the yellow on that. But yeah, Mullings ended up scoring it off the Jackson punch out on Sunday, and then it was the Red Bulls that won it in PKs. Poor cross leads to a throw-in. Joshua Boma accelerates. Best possession so far for New England. Peyton Miller trails in, loses it away, and no call. This portion of the match is brought to you by Orlando Health. Choose well. Jordan Adebayo-Smith, 99 in the white on the top of the box. Haven't said his name yet tonight, and that's not typical. He is always around the ball. 9 goals scored on the year. He scored the lone goal in the 1-1 draw Sunday. So Almaguer now with an assist in 3 of the last 4 games. That was just a perfect ball to Schlegel. And the header was perfect too. He went near post with it, and there was just a sliver of space to sneak it past the keeper, Jacob Jackson. Quinones. Broken up by Schlegel. And directed out of bounds. Orlando to throw. Regarding Orlando's improvement from last year being 9th in the East to now sitting 5th in the East in what's a bigger league with 6 additional teams in Next Pro this year, Perelman says last year being the first year that there was a second team for Orlando, they had to build it from scratch, and this year there was much more of an action plan and an understanding of what the objectives are for a second team. Juggled around. Peyton Miller, just 15 years old. Challenges and called for a foul. One statistical oddity for Orlando, it's rare at this stage in the season to see a team 5th in the conference, yet a -3 goal differential for Orlando. We've got 40 goals for and 43 goals allowed. The latter, second to last in the East in goals conceded. But Perelman says a lot of that just unforced errors and penalties, particularly early in the season. Couldn't ask for a better start tonight as Mohammed operates in open space. Almaguer. Medina with the long cross-pitch pass. Lofted along again. Jackson stays put off sides. Bolma. Bumped along, a lot of contact. Orlando possession. On a warm Florida night, there will be a hydration break coming up at some point in the next 10-15 minutes. That ball is sent to Disney World. Fortunately, we've got replacements. At 66%, doesn't even tell the full story. It's just been such valuable possession that Orlando has had. Corner kicks, just constant chances. Counter opportunity for New England. Kaye trots it along. Miller. But New England opts to settle back and restart. Victor Sousa, the 39th overall pick out of Boston College. Brashansky. Orlando swarming. Panayotu. Foul called. Bolma weaves inside. Shot blocked. And a far side throw upcoming. Panayotu. Brashansky. Knocked around, and Orlando takes it. Here's Jack Lynn. Tied for first in the league in goals with Atlanta's Nick Firmino. 12 goals. He scored 15 last year. The combined 27 is the most in the young history of MLS Next Pro. Cross for Miller, settles it, shot, goal! Peyton Miller evens it up at 1. The 15-year-old sensation. Beautiful ball, settles it. Right
Ladies
past
and
Steinahar.
Revolution 2 goal scored by number 76, Peyton Miller.
Doesn't turn 16 until November 8th. Before last game, Peyton Miller had recorded a point in 3 straight. That's his 3rd goal. This portion of the match is brought to you by Exploria. Explore more and vacation better with Exploria Resorts. Mohammed. Cross. Blasted into the box, redirected just wide. Lynn almost connected. Near beautiful one-timer. Peyton Miller again. New England really dominated the first 20 minutes, but New England evens it up on that Peyton Miller shot. New England finding its footing. Panayotu. Goal kick upcoming for Stidahar. Shansky can't control it. And Muhammad tracks it down. Escobar defends, long shot stopped out, but a corner upcoming. Jackson unable to corral that, so another corner upcoming. Martins headed well wide. New England lets that roll out. Deep throw in. So Orlando sends some pressure. Quinones on the toss and right back. Now a little bit better position on the throw. Will this be the hydration perhaps? Nope, they just didn't like the spot on the throw. Nope, it will be the hydration. Both teams having scored their 41st goal of the year tonight.
Due to the high temperatures in today's match, for the safety of the players, the referee has indicated that a cooling break will commence. The break will last up to 3 minutes. Thank you.
We'll have another look at the first 2 goals. The first one, just a beautiful ball. Imanol Almaguer with his 3rd assist in the last 4 games, which accounts for all 3 of his assists this year. Touches it up. And Schlegel cans it. And then a long cross. Miller settles it. Sneaks it just past the foot of Rashansky. Or Stidahar, excuse me. Past the foot of Stidahar. Any baseball fans out there, hard not to associate this song with Sandlot. But tonight it's the theme on the soccer pitch, where Orlando has proven tough to beat. Lone home loss 3-0 against Philadelphia June 28th. Orlando comes into this one 3-2-1 since July. OCB recorded consecutive 3-2 wins against Atlanta and Chicago. Lost to the Red Bulls on July 31st. Then last game, a 1-1 draw at Miami. Orlando lost 5-3 in PKs. Dominated the game though, 66% possession, and outshot Miami 20-9 and 4-2 in on-target shots. But Perelman said Miami just executed. Meanwhile, New England comes into this one unbeaten in 6 straight, going back to June. Revs went 2-0-2 with a shootout win in July. Of note for New England, a few games ago, the Revs top next pro newcomer Crown 3-1, and Crown leads the East right now with 47 points. Hydration break in the books. Panayotu bounces that along. Quinones. Miller with the great slide. Adebayo Smith. Oh, and there's the whistle. Schlegel's pass, too much juice on it. Knocked around, stays with New England. Panayotu for Miller again. Charges in, centers, and an own goal! Off the foot of Salim. 2-1 New England. Peyton Miller sought Adebayo Smith on that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
but Salim breaks it up right past his keeper.
Adebayo Smith in the 35th minute.
Right now they're crediting it to Adebayo Smith on the PA, but have to expect that ends up being an own goal. Regardless, give Peyton Miller the credit for once again just being a creator. He scored the first goal in there. It was his centering pass that had enough juice on it to cause a misplay from Salim. Muhammad. Freeman can't keep it in play. So temporarily, at least on the public address at the stadium, and they have just changed it. So it is in fact an own goal as we suspected would be the case. So Peyton Miller may not get credited anything there in the statistics, but again, it was his pass that resulted in the own goal. So he's off to a flourishing start with one goal, and then not really a way to credit him statistically there, but let's just say he made the play that led to the second goal. Panayotu. Adebayo Smith. His 10th goal needs to wait a little bit since they gave that to Salim. Kaye, 44 in the white, is 5th in the league in minutes. Bulma will stop and start. Ooh, Rosansky A little pushing and shoving there with Martins. Rosansky took a chest push from Martins. Rosansky passed that back to his keeper. Got a kick in the back of the cleat. He didn't like it, and then Martins, who delivered the kick, gives a push. But Martins fortunate perhaps to avoid a yellow there. And now comes a yellow, but have to wait to see who that was awarded to. Both players were next to each other. Not sure if that was a double yellow or...
Ladies and gentlemen, the yellow card.
It does go to Martins, which
OCB number 8, Felipe Martins, in the 30th.
Makes sense. Just again, he was the one who delivered the kick and the push. So when I said fortunate to avoid a yellow, it came in just a few seconds later. Adebayo Smith along the touchline. Now Panayotou. Offsides. Marcelo Santos' interim head coaching debut off to a good start. 2-1 Revs. Medina. And a goal kick upcoming. A lot of pressure from Orlando. Leads to a longer goal kick. Adebayo Smith in on the header. Back for Steidehar. Tough start. No fault of his own, but Steidehar just coming down for some reps. And OCB trails 2-1. Headed out on the near side for an Orlando throw. Alex Freeman, the throw in. Happy 19th birthday to 30 in the purple. Having a big year with 4 goals. Headed away. That's 4 more goals than he scored all of last year. Late foul call. Tablante sets for the free kick. 22-year-old from Valencia, Venezuela. A lot of velocity, but knocked out. Mohamed crosses into the box. Sousa heads it away. Adebayo Smith runs it down, but a bicycle away. Martins. Muhammad again. Freeman open on the near side and toes it. Windy evening in Orlando. This portion of the match is brought to you by Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth. Freeman, shot just off the post, knocked back in. John Solis ties it. The shot from Freeman off the left post, and Solis knocks it home. And then a kiss to the family. Freeman's shot looked more like a cross, but it landed off the left post, and Solis punched it home. The 24-year-old Colombian with his first goal of the year.
John Solis in the 44th minute.
Solis, the only guy who has started every game for Orlando. Played in and started. Entered tonight with an assist in 4 of his last 6. And here he knocks in his first goal of the year to tie it. I think Freeman was trying to set up a cutter that was right in front of the net, and the pass just happened to go beyond that point and hit the left post. And Solis was there to put it in. Foul called on Muhammad as we had 5 minutes of stoppage time.
The fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 4 minutes of added time.
Here's a look at our goal summary as Orlando dominated the first 15 minutes. New England scored 2 unanswered. Escobar suffers a foul. And then Orlando just evened it off the foot of John Solis, the 24-year-old midfielder. Leaves for Adebayo. Smith, all alone, blocked, still loose. Panayotou finishes. Orlando players are stunned on the lack of an offside, and back and forth we go. Wait, we may have, is this gonna stand?
Ladies and gentlemen, New England Revolution 2 goal scored by number 22, Jack Panayotou.
It does stand, Jack Panayotou. Here, a lot of people clamoring for the offsides.
To the OCB coaching staff.
And Orlando suffers an offside because of, or suffers a yellow because of it. What a chaotic first half. With the near side camera angle, tough to tell whether or not that was in fact offsides. We'd have to see that again, but it was pretty clear that a few of the Orlando players let up thinking that it would be offsides. And Perelman, the head coach of Orlando, arguing the call, suffered the yellow card. And now another New England player down. This game is tense. And Solis, just after his goal, suffers a red card. And now some injury attention here. It's been one chaotic first half. Escobar suffered that foul. Walking it off. So Orlando down a man. And Solis will have to miss the second Orlando-New England matchup due to that red card. Adebayo Smith can't keep that in play. Likely the final sequence of the half upcoming. Escobar stays in the game. And that is in fact halftime. Our score, 3-2 New England at the half on MLSNextPro.com. A few weeks ago in Salt Lake City, MLS Next Pro invited teams from leagues around the world to participate in the MLS Next Pro Invitational. Samara and Michelle recapped the second year of this important event.
Greetings from the home of Real Monarchs in Salt Lake City, Utah. Tuesday night culminated the second ever MLS Next Pro Invitational. I'm Samara Perez, and Michelle and I are here to take you through the most impactful moments of the international competition.
In the home side's tournament opener, Real Monarchs took on Crystal Palace's U21 squad. Academy product and 16-year-old Owen Anderson scored the game winner to give Real Monarchs their first win of this year's tournament. It was also a pure example of the international experience young players receive by being given opportunities like the MLS Next Pro Invitational.
It means everything. It's definitely a dream come true, especially to score. It's definitely a great atmosphere to play into. So it's a great opportunity for especially kids like me who are younger and haven't gotten much time in the season. And it's a great opportunity for us to get time and show up in moments like that.
The experience was also something our league coaches considered beneficial in terms of strengthening their competitiveness, despite the friendly nature of the tournament. Whitecaps FC2 head coach Ricardo Clark touched on some of those benefits following their first appearance in the tournament.
This is a great opportunity to play an opponent, a European opponent, someone we're not used to seeing on a regular basis within the league, and that exposure is valuable in their development, right? So, yeah, we approached the game very seriously and very competitively, and I was proud of our group and how we showed that on the field. And again, it was a very good game to be part of for me and for the group.
Another highlight of the tournament, the world-class facilities of the Real Salt Lake organization that were used by both the domestic and European teams alike and were praised highly by all that were involved with the tournament. The state-of-the-art training grounds, the versatility, and the all-in-one development site was lauded by both the English Premier League and Bundesliga academy clubs.
But to come out and play on this great stadium, it's good for the players as well. You know, we like to expose the players to play, you know, under floodlights and you know, have an atmosphere. So it's been good. And yesterday we had the privilege to watch Hoffenheim play yesterday against Colorado. So yeah, the hospitality's been brilliant as well, and yeah, Salt Lake's looked after us well.
Yeah, you have to look around. I think it's very nice that we get the possibility to play in this stadium. We are used to play on grass fields in Germany, especially in Hoffenheim. We have many of grass fields because the weather is not so hot or not so cold, and so it's fantastic for us to play here, to play on this ground. Yeah, so everything is nice.
Now, seeing the facilities up close and personal, you see how it provides an immersive place for these guys to grow both as players and as people.
The experiences and even the challenges that the MLS Next Pro Invitational provided are also critical for players who aspire to reach the world stage in the future.
Obviously, there's lots of challenges: the heat, the time zone differences, the training times as well. We're having to train early because of the heat. So, and there's a lot of dead time, but this is all the things that if you're going to become a top class player, that you're going to have to experience yourself for. If you want to go and play in World Cups for your countries, then these are all the challenges that teams can fail on unless you experience them.
With another successful MLS Next Pro Invitational in the books, we thank our esteemed European guests for bringing their talents here to the States, and to the Real Monarchs organization for being exceptional hosts. We hope you enjoyed our coverage from right here in Utah. On behalf of Michelle Montaigne, I'm Samara Perez. Thank you for tuning in to the 2023 MLS Next Pro Invitational.
We began August with a bevy of important matches as this season's end starts to come into focus. Michelle and Samara put it in context with this week's edition of the Matchday Rewind.
With MLS Next Pro's Matchday 20 spread out over a couple of days, we got a full weekend and more of soccer. Samara and I are here with the biggest moments from a very big match day.
Our first standouts hail from Colorado. Rapids 2 are back in the winning column following a massive 6-2 win over Whitecaps FC2. Attackers Darren Yappy and Remy Cabral each contributed with a brace. Just a week before, the league leaders suffered their largest margin loss of the season against SKC2. Despite that stumble, and thanks to their most recent win, Eric Boucher's squad remains atop the West with 48 points.
And topping a brace performance was Houston Dynamo 2's Papa Ndoye, who scored a hat trick for the second straight week. He becomes the first MLS Next Pro player to score back-to-back hat tricks in consecutive weeks in the Young League's regular season history. His 3 goals helped Dynamo Dos to a 3-1 win over July's Team of the Month, Sporting Kansas City 2. 6 goals spanning 2 weeks has throttled him into sole second place in the Golden Boot race with 11 so far on the season. And following his historic feat, there was one word he used to describe how he was feeling.
Right now I'm buzzing. I'm feeling great. I'm super happy. I'm happy that the team is getting results right now. So that's all. I'm super happy.
Another thing that's buzzing right now is our Golden Boot standings. Following match day 20, we've got Nick Firmino and Jack Lynn tied at first with 12 tallies. And as Michelle mentioned, Papa Ndoye made a huge jump to second following back-to-back hat tricks. We also had a few guys reach double-digit territory, one of them being Ibrahim Kazul from Red Bulls 2.
And finally, now that we're in August, the playoff picture is beginning to take shape. Despite starting in the season near the bottom of the table, Huntsville City FC is coming off their 3rd straight win and sits right above the playoff line in the Eastern Conference with 31 points on the season. Crown Legacy FC continues to lead the East with a dominant 47 points. Out west, Rapids 2 is in sole first with 48 total points. Austin FC 2 sits in second, while spots 5 through 9 in the West are only separated by 3 points. MNU FC 2 rounds out the teams in the West above the playoff line.
We've got double the fun this week with most teams playing double fixtures starting Wednesday. Michelle and I will see you back here with the most notable moments following all the action.
It is a jam-packed schedule for MLS Next Pro this week. Very busy. I'll be on the call later tonight for Portland and Galaxy 2, and then also I'll be back with you tomorrow. We've got Cincinnati and Chicago. New England and the Red Bulls. This is Sunday's past schedule here. Looking at is St. Louis, a big win against the Monarchs. Huntsville's playing some good soccer right now. They're in the thick of the Eastern Conference playoff mix. Houston, a big victory against Kansas City. And let's take a look at what was just a crazy, crazy first half from Florida. That turnover almost led to a goal. Maguire with the incredible assist there. Schlegel cashed it. Peyton Miller even the score. Peyton Miller then set up an own goal off the foot of Salim from Orlando. Before we get to that, though, is just the cross that was just wide. And here's Miller in search of Adebayo Smith. Salim breaks it up, but into his own net. Then this, what looked like an attempted cross, goes off the post, and Solis puts it in the back of the net. Unfortunately for him, he followed it up with a red card not long thereafter. Orlando's players thought this was offsides. Panayotou cleans it up for the goal. And 3-2. And then a yellow card on the Orlando bench for arguing that it was offsides. Orlando owned the first 15 minutes and led 1-0, but then the Revs scored 3 of the next 4. Again, notice that red card on the bottom left. Critical factor moving forward. That happened during stoppage time of the first half, so we haven't even really seen the impact that it will have just yet. Just about set for the second half from Osceola County Stadium. Orlando 7-1-2 on its home pitch, but work to do, and down a man and down a goal. Referee Alyssa Nichols had a busy first half. A yellow card on the Orlando bench. A red card on the Orlando midfielder, John Solis. Jack Lynn's in the center. Haven't called his name much tonight. Stellar player, 12 goals on the year. Underway in the second half, MLSNextPro.com. Eric Duick with you for an Eastern Conference matchup of teams in the thick of the playoff race. Orlando 5th in the East, 34 points. New England 3rd with 40. The top 7 qualify. Second year of MLS Next Pro. Just 4 qualified from each league in the first year. Turnover. Here's Lynn. His 12 goals tied for first in the league with Atlanta's Nick Firmino. Kanayotu battles. Long cross, headed toward the far side. Loose ball, Peyton Miller. along the touchline, tripped up, and possession stays New England in the white kits. Orlando in the purple, 7-1-2 on its home pitch. Look at your goal summary. See an own goal for Salim there as Peyton Miller attempted a cross to Adebayo Smith that Salim stepped in front of. Had he not, New England very well may have scored anyway on the cross. But it goes down as an own goal off the foot of Salim. Alyssa Nichols, the referee, assisted by Miguel Martez, Sergio Santana, and Rashawn Clark is the fourth official. Freeman centers it for Lynn, but stepped in front of. Now Escobar, who was the victim of the red card from Solis, took a kick to the shin area. Brzezinski didn't play 2 of the last 3, but back in as a starter tonight. Not playing the 2 of the last 3 were more of an outlier. Santiago Suarez passes that back, and Orlando starting aggressive again in the second half. That pass strong, but Medina can't win it. Long ball ahead, Adebayo Smith. He's dangerous, top of the box. Center, shot blocked. Medina, Martins passes back. And a strong challenge, but Orlando rids it. Escobar lifts it. Top of the box, Bulma touches it up. Goal! (4-2) New England. Orlando once again in disbelief. Bulma with a beautiful tap to avoid the oncoming keeper. And then Adebayo Smith touches that right along the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, New England
we'll see who they credit that to.
Number 99, Jordan Adebayo Smith.
They credit it to Adebayo Smith. That's his 10th of the year, but Bulma made the play. Adebayo Smith, a goal in back-to-back games now. And 3 of the last 4. 10 on the year. That ball's probably going in even if Adebayo Smith doesn't touch it. But he secured it. So now a 2-goal deficit and a 1-man deficit for Orlando. Muhammad. Cross knocked out. Adebayo Smith challenges it, tripped up. It is Orlando possession still. When Adebayo Smith scores, New England has won 7 of 9. This now being the 10th separate game he has scored in. As we take another peek at that foul, Adebayo Smith laboring a little bit. Had it not been for the last-second goal on Sunday, New England would be 8-1 in games that Adebayo Smith has scored. Medina lifts it. Lynn, intended target. And a foul called on Lynn. Orlando would have had a beautiful opportunity off that ricochet. Bulma again. Weaves inside. He's tripped up. Bulma headed to the spot. It is all Revs 2. Just at the top of the box. Bulma upended. Up a man and up 2 goals. The Revs could all but ice this here. Bulma in search of his first goal this year. Stutters in, shoots, and gets it. Does a little dance move to boot. Bulma, the 4th overall pick, with his first professional goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, New England Revolution 2 goal scored by number 16, Joshua Bulma, in the 53rd minute.
That penalty committed just inside the box. Bulma found Steidehar leaning and scored it. See if Orlando can stay in striking distance here or find a way to get within striking distance with a goal. Almaguer, cross, Kaye pokes that toward the end line, but it stays in play. Suarez on a long run. So Bulma was inches from his first professional goal when Adebayo Smith just nudged it across the line for him. But he gets it courtesy of the penalty kick, Bulma does. 4th overall pick. New England actually traded up from the 10th slot with San Jose to select Bulma. Bulma made his MLS debut against DC July 15th. That's his lone MLS appearance. He's 16 in the white. First team all-conference both his seasons at Maryland. See how both these clubs use their subs in this second half. Unless Orlando scores in the next couple of minutes, This might be insurmountable, down a man and down 3 goals. Bulma sneaks inside again, left-footed shot just over the bar. Not sure what this stoppage is in regard to. Sub-related. Noble Okello checking in. Escobar departing. Zansky departing as well. Italo and Okello both in. New England is back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 substitutions for the New England Revolution 2 in the 58th minute. Leaving the game is number 32, Jake Rosansky. He's replaced by number 65, Noel Okello. Also leaving the game is number 19, Older Escobar. He's replaced by number 52, Italo.
Marcelo Santos is upset about something. Long pause here. The confusion or displeasure was in regard to Noble Okello being held off still due to Rosansky being a little hobbled on his way out. So they are using that as an off-field treatment situation. They're going to make him wait 3 minutes. So we're 10 on 10 right now. So they are calling that the off-field treatment rule then. So that explains the displeasure. So this is Orlando's chance for 3 minutes, even strength, to try to get a goal here and make things interesting. Mohamed dances along the box, long shot, kick save. Peyton Miller intercepted. Mohamed and an OCB player down. We've got another card coming in somewhere here. Well, McGuire's down. Rachel Nichols holding, or Alyssa Nichols, excuse me, holding a yellow card. That's on Italo. It has been changed to Peyton Miller on the yellow.
I don't think 52 got it.
They changed it to Peyton Miller on the yellow card. Free kick for Orlando with Martins. The 32-year-old, 12-year MLS player, lifts it, headed out. To Blante, long shot wide.
Issued to New England Revolution 2, number 76, Peyton Miller, in the 61st minute.
Quinones. Back for Kaye in his 60th start with Revs 2. And Bulma surges ahead. Peyton Miller, who scored the first goal for New England. Miller and Escobar, who has since checked out, are the young sensations for New England. Miller 15, Escobar 16.
Ladies and
Critical
gentlemen,
members of the
substitution for New England Revolution 2 in the
second straight
62nd minute.
U19 MLS
Leading the
Next
game
Cup
is number
title
32, Jake
for New
Rosacki.
England.
He's replaced by number 65, Noble Okello.
Okello comes in now. Peyton Miller scored in the second half of that MLS Next Cup title game. With Miller's goal in the first half, he has points in 4 of the last 5. Tablante. Long cross, a lot of muscle on that one, maybe too much so. New England possession. There are a lot of players in this league that have cracked lineups at 15, 16. In some cases, they're on MLS contracts. There's guys like Torres for LAFC, Estrella for the Red Bulls. In the latter's case, the 4th youngest to sign an MLS contract. Some of the guys have really flourished, and some of them are maybe still finding their place a little bit. I had an interesting conversation with Marcelo Santos this week about what is it with some of these guys, seeing as this Revs club has 2 of them that are somewhat in that mold. And he said with guys like a Miller or an Escobar and with those young teenagers, you're looking for mentality, athleticism, and an understanding of the game. Athleticism without being able to read the game doesn't work. Said you need some kind of a base, and then you'll look to accelerate that progression. But some combination of athleticism, mentality, reading the game, and being excellent in one of those areas. And as it relates to Miller and Escobar, as Orlando sends in some subs here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 substitutions for OCB in the 65th minute. Leading the game is number 30, Alex Freeman. He's replaced by number 32, Wilfredo Rivera.
Wilfredo Rivera, the 19-year-old Puerto Rican, coming in.
Tablante. He's replaced by number 46,
Tablante's out.
Franco Perez.
We've got Franco
Perez
Perez coming in.
Abdi Salim. He's replaced by number 54.
And Abdi Salim
Kibanguchi.
also out with
And all
Nabi
substitutions occurring in the
Kibanguchi
65th
coming in.
minute.
When it comes to Escobar and Miller, Santos said Escobar's kind of that smooth skill, whereas Miller's more direct and looking to explore open areas. And we've seen Miller's skills on display tonight with a goal and then a cross that led to an own goal. Had it not been for the own goal, Adebayo Smith probably would have punched it home anyway to give Miller an assist. This portion of the match brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Franco Perez just into the game. Perez from Joaquin Suarez, Uruguay, just turned 22 a little more than a week ago on August 1st. John Solis out with the red card. Orlando scored first off the foot of, really the head of, Rodrigo Schlegel. Miller scored for New England. Then there was an own goal that made it 2-1 New England as we've got another sub coming in.
Ladies and
There's
gentlemen,
Fabian Loyola.
OCB in the 67th minute. Leaving the game is number 27, Jack Lynn. He's replaced by number
Jack Lynn done for the
95,
day,
Fabian
leading scorer
Loyola.
for Orlando. Give him some rest with this match all but over. Then Solis tied it 2-2. Then Panayotou scored to make it 3-2. Then Solis got a red card and left. And then in the second half, there's a goal for Orlando, down a man. Instant impact for Fabian Loyola. Didn't take long for Loyola to impact this one. Off the head to the left side, past Jackson. That's Loyola's second goal of the year. So here just in the middle of that.
Goal scored by number 32, Wilfredo Rivera in the 69th minute.
Oh, pardon me, they credit that to Wilfredo Rivera. My apologies. One looked like it was off the head of Loyola. It must have touched somebody else along the way, because that was definitely the head of Loyola that sent it to the far side. Someone, in this case Rivera, must have cleaned that up. But after it was 3-2, Adebayo Smith scored to make it 4-2. Then Bolma on the penalty kick for 5-2. And then there, off the head of Loyola, and Rivera knocks it home. So that is Rivera's second goal of the year, after he had the winner against Atlanta 3-2 last month. These two teams played each other in the preseason. Medical assistance coming on. Hard head-to-head collision there. Franco Perez and Panayotou. More of the shoulder to the head, actually. That was a tough blow to Panayotou. He caught a pretty good shoulder up high on that second look. And they'll probably give Panayotou a good check here. That was actually Kibanguchi who delivered the shoulder. That was a tough blow, though, to the head of Panayotou. Panayotou going through some concussion testing. See if Panayotou stays on or comes off here. New England has has every reason to be cautious right now, up 5-3. Credit to the league here. We actually just had a call this week regarding the off-field treatment rule, and it's meant to ensure that players receive the proper care, proper evaluations for head injuries, anything cardiac related, etc. One of the benefits of it also is that it's meant to minimize any sort of delay tactics and such, but in this case, you see the rule being put to good use there, just to make sure that Panayotou gets proper care on that sideline. And as the replay showed, that was a pretty big collision. Orlando. A lot of contact there with Quinones. Stays Orlando ball. The 3-minute rule does not apply to head injuries if he's deemed to be okay to return, but in this case, they'll take every appropriate measure, and New England also has the right to sub out Panayotou if it pleases. Panayotou's made 10 MLS appearances this year with 2 starts. Scored in the first half, kicked up and in! Orlando suddenly back in this one. A lot of traffic in there. And there's Panayotou walking off on the far side. Kibin-Gucci crashed in for that shot and goal. His 4th of the year. Back-to-back games with a goal for Kibin-Gucci. More subs coming on. Benawashi's coming on. Suarez out.
Ladies and
Miller's
gentlemen,
out.
your OCB goal scored by number 54, Nabi Kibin-Gucci, in the 74th minute.
Patrick Leal coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 substitutions for the New England Revolution 2 in the 75th minute. Leaving the game is number 16, Joshua Balma. He's replaced by number 38, Patrick Leal. Also leaving the game is number 43, Santiago Suarez. He's replaced by number 40, Ben Ashwire. And also leaving the game is number 76, Peyton Miller. He's replaced by number 89, Malcolm Fry.
So Panayotou hasn't subbed out. walked around the pitch to the other side. Long cross and good play to up there by Steidehar. Malcolm Fry, or Patrick Leal, pardon me, who had an assist in his last game, a debut. Long ball ahead. Rivera bobbles, a lot of contact, no call. These Orlando fans furious. Had a lot of controversy tonight. 5-4 New England's lead. Benawashi knocked around. Quinones. And here's Malcolm Fry. He scored the winner against Orlando last time these teams met in September at Gillette Stadium. And Noble Okello called for the foul. Here's Rivera in on the goal. Kaye comes from behind. Not a whole lot of contact there. It's probably a good no call. So New England has replaced Panayotu.
For the safety of the players, the referee has indicated that a cooling break will commence. The break will last up to 3 minutes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card has been issued to the OCB assistant coach in the 79th minute.
Also a yellow card issued to the Orlando bench on an assistant coach that time. Head coach Martin Perelman already has a yellow. New England pressures. Dangerous in front. Malcolm Fry challenges. Loyola skips it along to Rivera. Long shot, knocked up, and just off to the right side of the post. And that's a corner. This portion of the match is brought to you by your Central Florida Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional offers. Corner kick upcoming, 5-4 New England. Revs third in the East, OCB fifth in the East. First of two matchups. Headed up and too strong. Off Kibbenguchi, who's already got a goal to his name tonight. Back-to-back goals with a game, or back-to-back games with a goal for the Elk Grove, California native. Panayotu officially out after he was checked for a head injury. Patrick Leal is the one who officially replaced him. Adebayo Smith knocked around, and Steidehard dives on it. And he restarts play. Felipe Martins, 12-year MLS veteran, down for some reps tonight with the first team on break. And Martin's been the guy you've heard all night imploring his guys to stay in it with the 5-2 deficit and the one-man deficit with the Solis red card. Loyola back for Martins. 26 MLS goals to his name. Idolo backed up, finds Bulma, who's wrestled to the ground. Ragdolled. Kaye on the restart. Jackson launches that all the way to the other keeper. Orlando wishes it had Jack Lynn in the game still. Tied for the league lead in goals, but can't really fault the Orlando staff. Down 5-2, minus a man in a busy week. Just, it was a great opportunity to rest some guys. A lot of contact and a foul committed on Fry. Martins just walked forward a solid 5 to 10 yards with that ball. Malcolm Fry called for the foul. This free kick should be 5 yards farther back. No matter. Martins used that veteran experience to kind of sneak up a little bit there. Leal back for the keeper, Jackson, pressured. Sidewinder. And Leal suffers the yellow. That was entirely unintentional. Just two guys going for a loose ball there, and Leal picks up the yellow.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card has been issued to New England Revolution to number 38, Patrick Leal, in the 86th minute.
Maybe stuck his foot a little bit, but again, that was two guys just kind of full speed ahead. So Martin's on the free kick. Franco Perez taken away. Fry. Bodies everywhere. Bulma, 3-on-3. Fry, former academy player. Benawashi fakes. Now Leal, 38 in the white, who just signed Friday off for Okello. Long cross. Nobody home for Orlando on that clear, but it skips away to Muhammad. No numbers, though, for Orlando. He needs some help. Don't forget, we've got probably a good 5-6 minutes of stoppage time coming up. Goal kick upcoming. We had the hydration break. We had the concussion check on Panayotu. We could be looking at a very significant chunk of stoppage time. Another sub coming in. Zakaria Taifi is headed in for Almaguer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Almaguer assisted the first Orlando goal.
Leaving the game is number 53, Imanol Almaguer. He's replaced by number
Taifi's a 17-year-old defender. Leal. Bolma. Two defenders on him, knocked away. Corner kick upcoming. Bolma with a goal and an assist. His first points at the professional level after 2 years at Maryland. He hands the corner over to Leal instead, though. Oh, no, he actually passed that in. That was the corner kick. Offsides. Orlando looking to avoid just its second home loss of the year. The 25-year-old keeper Steidehar on the restart. He's the first team backup and has started 10 MLS games in his career. Medina. I'm already looking forward to the rematch between these teams in early September.
The fourth official is
7 minutes of stoppage time.
7 minutes of added time.
You had a feeling it was either going to be 5, 6, or 7 with all the injury and otherwise stoppages we've had in this second half. Muhammad weaves on Awashi. His center knocked out. Not cleared though. Leal. Transition. Steidehar pumps it out. New England ball. Quinones to throw. Well defended and played along the touchline, but out again. This time it's Orlando ball. Fry challenges. And then Adebayo Smith, no call. Franco Perez initiates the rush. Muhammad can't keep that in play. This portion of the match brought to you by Body Armor, more than a sports drink. Numbers in the box. Cross headed back. Great play to keep it in. And a foul committed. Does Orlando have one more in it? Trailed 5-2. Down a man after Solis suffered the red in the first half. Both teams subbed out a few of their heavy hitters, trying to give some extra rest. Guys running on fumes. As the OCB faithful chant one more goal. Martins on the free kick. He's played for 6 MLS teams, not Next Pro teams, 6 MLS teams. He's 32 years old. Just here for a good workout to get some reps before first team back. Muhammad heads it in. Kaye lifts that out for an OCB throw. New England possession, counter opportunity. Bulma, 3-on-2. Taken back. But Fry finds it. Loose, 2-on-1 Fry. Off to the left. It's a corner. Fry got lucky there, just popped right back to him, but he's wide on the shot. Stidehar did a great job to come out and cut down the angle. 95th minute. A couple of second-year teams in the second year of the league. 2 teams who didn't make the playoffs and right now in great position to do so. Bulma bicycles it toward his own goal. That's a corner. You don't see too many corner kicks initiated from 25 yards out, but Bulma just couldn't get his boot under that one enough. Ended up kicking it right over his end line. Martins again on the corner. He's been active all night. It's up. Headed. Still loose in the box and booted away. But Kibinguchi sends it back. Wilfredo Rivera. He's already got a game-winning goal this year against Atlanta last month. Now Stidehar joins the attack. Medina curls it. Fry on a long run. Adebayo Smith looks gassed in the middle for New England. Loyola, Kibinguchi accelerates, centers wide. New England content to take its time. 8 o'clock. very busy week of action. MLSNextPro.com and on Apple TV with MLS Season Pass. Leal escapes harm's way. Steidehar throws in. Long ball. Headed out far side, Muhammad. Edge of the box, tripped up, and a foul call. Likely the last sequence coming up here. New England suffered a draw in a very similar situation to this on Sunday. Likely the last sequence of extra time. This is how the Red Bulls tied it on Sunday, and this ball is a lot closer than that one was. Martins, unlikely the final play of the match. Steidehar comes in, the goalie for Orlando. He's 6'2". Martins rolls it. Top of the box, shot, just wide. And that's it. Revs 2 survives. 5-4.
Orlando City B 4, New England Revolution 2, 5.
New England wins the interim head coaching debut of Marcelo Santos. It's 11th victory of the season. 43 points on the year. New England steps into second in the Eastern Conference. And applaud the effort of Martin Perelman's Orlando City B team, who trailed 5-2 down a man and had that free kick to tie it up. Tonight's man of the match is Peyton Miller, the 15-year-old for the New England Revolution, who scored a goal and then crossed one that led to an own goal. He's right there in your picture, 76 in the white. Here's his goal, settles it, scores it. He also had a crossing pass that led to an own goal, but he made a special play just to make it happen. 5-4 New England. Peyton Miller, man of the match for New England, presented by Adidas. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Eric Duick. 5-4, Revs 2 the victory. Don't forget, stay tuned. MLSNextPro.com, MLS Season Pass on Apple TV all year long. As busy of a week as we've had all year. Keep it locked in. Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. 5-4, Revs 2, win it.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.